Welcome to our next session for the IBMI training. Let me introduce firstly myself. So I'm Keshav Mundara and I have approximately 1.5 year of experience working in IBMI and with programmers.io as well. So today's session is based on the debugging, that is the interactive and the batch debugging, and the second one is for the RPG 3 and 4 commands, two commands we will discuss, that is strdbg and strisdb. So our today's training will be given by Ranjan Kumar. So let me just hand over this session to Ranjan and he will continue.
Thank you, Keshav. This is Ranjan here. To introduce myself, I've been with programmers.io for more than 2 years. And as far of IT experience, I have a lot. I better not discuss it with you all. So today's topic is basically debugging. So what does debugging mean? As the name suggests, it is debug. Means there is a bug in your program, you want to debug it. Okay. And what is the need for a person to debug? Uh, this session I want to be a little interactive so that I people can reply because the topic is not too big and there are few things which needs to be done in debugging, and I am sure that most of the people are aware in some form they must have debugged the program, and like whether it is RPG or previously in any language. Okay, to start with, uh, like from anyone from you, what do you mean or why do you use debugger? Anyone, just something from your side so that I can understand what do you know or what do you understand by debugger. Anyone?
Sir, basically use it to check the flow of the program and if we are getting any runtime errors or things like that.
Okay, good. There are other things like we debug the program to see, firstly to see we do it ourselves without any bugs. Also sometimes we run the debugger to check whether the flow of the program is working properly or not. And second case is we need to debug when we get any issue, like maybe it a production issue or when you're testing it you want to find out any issue, we debug the program. Okay, there are few prerequisites for a program to be debugged. uh, I'll share my screen. Okay, it is a simple document that I have prepared. So, okay, if you can see my screen, let me know.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, so forget about this part, the batch program debug. Mainly, like if you want to debug any program, whether it is a RPG or RPGLE program, it has to be compiled with special instructions. In case of RPG, we have to mention the source as option as source debug. And in case of RPG LE, you have to debug view as star source. If you don't do this, you will not be able to see the source in debug. So you will not be able to step with the next step and so on. Okay, and there are two ways of debugging a program. Like one is the interactive debug and one is the batch debug. Okay, I'll show you on screen. I have created a sample program. Okay, see, this is for RPG 3, or you can say RPG 4 or RPG 400. I have just given two statements. Okay, so suppose you want to debug this program. There are two ways to do it. In RPG, you can do it in two ways. Like one is the interactive strisdb. Okay, remember this that strisdb will work only in RPG, not in RPG source. Okay, I'll show you what error it does. Suppose I give strisdb and I give the program name. If I press F4, it will show me to update my production file and invoke the program. Okay, suppose there is something update being happening in your program. If you don't give update, star yes. Then what will happen as soon as it encountered that statement, it will give you an error saying that the file is being updated, but you have not put update production star yes. So I'll put it star yes. Even though if I don't have any statement of update, I'll put it. Okay. If the program has to be run with some parameters, there's an option you can specify the parameters here. In my case, I don't have any parameters. I'll just press enter. Okay. So it is opening that source in debug mode. Okay. And if I'm going too fast, or if you want me to slow down, I'll slow down. Okay. Please let me know. Okay. Till this far it is clear, like how to invoke the program in strisdb.
Yep.
Okay. Now you can see that my program is now in debug. And if you see at the bottom, there are the function keys which you can use. In our case, like we have to use F5 for stepping, but in strdbg, it is F10. So this is a difference. Okay. If I press F5, it will move on to the next statement. One sec. Yeah. Okay. If I press F5, it goes. So if you want to check the value again, it is the same key of F11 to display the variable. You can see I've moved to 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. And if I press F5, it will come out of it. Also, like suppose you are in debug mode and you want to monitor a particular variable, how it is being changed or where it has been changed. So you can add a watch. To adding a watch, it is a shortcut is W and suppose VAR 01. So you can see it has added a watch, and wherever the value will change, you can display. It will display the current value what is there in that. Okay. And if I press F5, it will terminate the program and it will ask, do you want to rerun it? I said no. Okay. So this far clear, how do we use ISDB? Okay. Now suppose as I told you, like ISDB, str ISDB can only be used in RPG type. Suppose I want enter a 2, which is a RPG LE program. If I try to use str ISDB, it doesn't do anything. But if I see the job log, one second, and I press F10, it will see program type not supported. Okay, so one thing is that when you are using str ISDB, it will work in OPM programs only, that is original program models. And with str ISDB, you can debug the CL also. Okay. And suppose there is a requirement that some people are not very familiar with str ISDB, you can debug RPG program with strdbg also. Nothing changes, only strdbg. Same you update production. And here it is important, this one, because it is a OPM, you have to make star yes. Suppose suppose I don't give star yes, then what will happen is it will not do anything. Now suppose now I am putting star yes for OPM. See, now it is displaying the source. Everything remains same, like press F6 to have a break and press F12 to continue. Then you can call this and it will go into debug mode. And here rest of the key like works, like F10 to step forward and this. So far clear how we can debug a RPG program using strisdb and strdbg, and with strisdb we cannot debug any RPG program. Okay, this is related to the interactive debugging. Oh, okay. Before I proceed to the next one, if anybody has any questions. No questions. Okay, fine. Have you all written any sample programs where you have tried to debug the program? Okay, not a problem. See, now I'll tell you how we can debug a program in batch, or suppose you have run a program. I'm using two sessions. Okay. And second one program, if you see, I have forcefully added an error here, which will give me an error. Okay. So if I run this, suppose somebody is running the program and he press runs it. Okay. Here you get the error message, right? And if I press F1, it will give me the statement on which it is that error is happening. So it is saying that statement 16. Okay, so suppose I see say statement 16. What is there? See, I don't have any state line number with 16. Okay, so how do you find out which line it is giving the error? So there's a way to do it. Like if you compile this program. Okay, I'm compiling the program in Qtem just for this sake of it. And if you see the spool file, see, this is the line 16. So you can know on which statement you're getting the error. Correct. There's another way of doing it. Okay, this is one way. Other way is doing is like I take the job, user, and number. Okay, and this is useful when we are doing a batch debug, but I'll show you how we can use it to find out in interactive debug also which line it is having the problem. So what you have to do is str srv job, press F4. Here you enter the job number, this which is over here. So I'll take the job name, user, and number. Okay, once that is done, str dbg is a program. Okay, so you take this program. One second, is picking up the wrong one. See, you can see it is highlighted. So this is the other way of finding out on which line the error has come. Like if it will give you line number 16, but actually on your program it is on line 5. This is the statement. And here as well as you can see if there is anything you want to see, like for example, you want to check the value. In this case, I'm moving a constant value. Suppose you're moving a variable in the going by this only, you can see what is the value being moved and you can identify the error. Like suppose the var1 has abcd value or not. Okay, so I end debug. And I cancel this. Fine. This is the way how to find your error. Now, suppose you are getting this error in a batch. Suppose you're running this and it in a batch and you're getting things error. So what we'll do is I'll submit program. And here there's one keyword, like I am forcefully keeping it on hold. Okay. So what we'll do is if you see the job is held only. Okay. I take this. Okay. Now I have to start my service job str s job and I press this. Okay. Now str dbg tst002. The program is still in hold. Okay, and it is not running. Okay, and I resume F12. Now I go back to that job and I release it. You'll get this screen like the start a service job. Okay, and you have to press F10 to enter a debug command. Press F10 and here you give display mod src. So it will display the source in debug. And now you can put your break here. Suppose press F6 and F12 to resume and F3 to go back to this screen. OK, now press enter to continue. See, now your program is in debug mode. It is giving some error. Uh, sec. OK, I'll do one thing. I'll change the program because there's some problem with this file. I'll remove it. I have just two statements. Compile it with the source. OK, Now I'll repeat what I had done so earlier. So I'll do the same step again. Okay, I'm calling this program and putting it in a hold, taking the job, then start the debugger, F12 to resume, and release this job. Press F10 to enter the debug command. Press put a break on the first line, F12, F3, and press enter. So now your program is in debug. So press F10 to step forward. So now you can check whatever value you want to check. And here it will give you an error because I have forcefully put an error here. So this is how we debug the program. And once you have done with debugging the program, you have to debug and end. Okay, so this I have documented here. Whatever I've shown, you can go through this. This I have shown how to create this debugging source. Then I submitted the job with a hold, and you'll get a message that job this is submitted in queue this one. Then you have to start the service job with whatever value you have got from here. Then you have to start the debug program. This, and then when you do that, the source will open and press F12 to resume. Okay, then go to that job. I have done it in a different way, like work with job and 43 to release it, or you can do anywhere and release the job. You can go to work active job, and from there you also you can release it. And after you release it, you'll get a screen like this, which I showed you. In this, you have the option of pressing F10 to enter the debug command or enter to continue. So we press F10 on the command line and give display module source, and the display module source will show the module, and you press F breakpoint and F12 to resume. And when you press F12 or F3, it will go back to this screen and press enter, and your program will be in the debug mode. And once the debugging is over, you have to end debug and end service job. Okay. So any question or anything, like normally you will get this like a program is in message wait and you want to find out what is the error. So you can do that, like you have to just get the job number, start service job, and put it and debug that program. It will directly point you to the line on which the error has occurred. Okay. So any question?
Nope, not till now. Nothing. No
Okay.
questions, I think. Yeah.
Okay. If you have anything, you can reach out to me. And if you want, I can share the document which I was using for your reference, or I can put it in our SharePoint in some folder, and that location can means Keshav can share that location with everyone who is interested in referring to this.
Yep. Sure. Thank you, Ranjan sir, for such a great session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.